It's time for halftime. Oh, all right, man. That breaks off real quick. Gene, I didn't tell you what halftime is going to be about. I didn't even send it to you, but I thought maybe off the cuff here. Some stuff going on today and yesterday I saw on X, and I was just going to throw it to you, see what you thought about it. So I don't know if it's legit, but it seems like all the dirt sheets have grabbed the story that WWE is doing everything that they can do to help TNA so that TNA is the number 2 wrestling promotion in the world, not AEW. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think maybe it's coming down to they'll eventually buy TNA, or do you think? And I really want to say WWE doesn't care about AEW, but that would be lying there because of all the shows that they're doing, back to back shows and promoting stuff like that. But do you think this is good for TNA? Is it good for wrestling? What's your thoughts on TNA being the number 2 promotion?
I mean, how could it be bad for TNA? If WWE is not trying to drive you out of business, if they're trying to help you move up to number 2 and take over past AEW, I don't see a downside to that. And I don't see any reason why WWE wouldn't help TNA. As far as if we learned anything, once they put everybody out of business back in the day, boy, did the quality sure go down.
Oh, wow.
Once there was no WCW, once there was no ECW. And what they learned was there was all these people who were WCW fans who I guess Vince just assumed like, well, when there's no WCW, they'll all come to us. Well, they didn't. They just turned off wrestling, and a lot of them never, ever came back. So, I guess they figure if they can pull the fans and, pull the TNA fans to WWE and the WWE fans over to TNA collectively, that gives them a leg up on AEW because, AEW seems to have a endless supply of money behind it, but then again, we're talking, this ain't just Vince anymore. You're talking TKO, and they certainly have their fair share of money behind them as well. So it's interesting. It's something I never thought we would see. Like, it's weird that this seems so normal to us now that we've seen TNA wrestlers at WrestleManias and Royal Rumbles and SummerSlams and things like that. It doesn't feel so odd. But there's a time, if somebody like, the time machine when it comes like, hey, WWE is going to be helping TNA one day, and you're like, get out of here. No, they're not. WWE doesn't help anybody but themselves. So it's interesting.
I love the idea. I think it's a great thing for, even though if they don't buy, they are able to provide their talent more reps, be in front of a lively crowd when they're selling, 3 to 4,000 is a small crowd, but a large crowd for TNA or more. And, you got these people from Evolve that they're doing the TV show, which is, before that people go to NXT or people that went to NXT and are sent back. You can use those folks. There's also talk that they will, when they get their new TV contract, they're not going to have a problem going to Wednesday nights head to head with AEW. So what would you think about that?
That'll be interesting because AEW was having a trouble with NXT. So I hope they don't buy TNA. I hope they just help them for a variety of reasons. But I think as long as they're their own thing, because if WWE buys them, well, now they're just another brand, like NXT and SmackDown and everything else. And it also gives them a whole other crop of talent to work with that's not on their payroll. So there's not going to be these cuts. It's like we have a couple of rough months. Like, all right, we got to cut a bunch of people. Them TNA people will be their own people. They keep who they want. And, WWE can cycle in who they want and just not take the others. So
it kind of reminds me, go ahead, the old MCW model. It's not that, but developmental was that they bring people in from WWE, use them, and you have your own set of bookers They had a little bit more control. I kind of think they have some control over who wins or who loses, kind of thing, or what they do with them. But at least you got the bookers or the guys behind TNA is going to be able to use more different talent, bring in with different ideas and such. I love the Hardys being able to go to NXT and all that kind of stuff. I love it. TNA, I've not been able to follow it on a regular basis most of this year, but I do watch the highlights. And huge Trick Williams, man. He's going to be a huge star, and it's fun to see him on there being just, a total asshole heel. So I love that stuff. All right, guys, that was halftime. All right, we're up to
It does not fade out. It is very abrupt.